JavaScript Destructuring is a modern feature that allows you to unpack values from arrays and properties from objects into distinct variables. It provides a concise and convenient way to extract data from complex structures. Here is an example of how destructuring is used. Array destructuring is a feature that allows you to unpack array elements into individual variables. It extracts values in the order they appear in the array. Variable names can be freely chosen, but they will correspond to the elements based on their positions. It's important to note that array destructuring matches elements by their position and unpacks the array into distinct variables. For example, consider this code snippet where we have an array of numbers and then an array of coordinates and finally an array of colors. Let us delve into advanced array destructuring. Here we will learn about rest parameters and skipping elements. Rest parameters allow you to collect the remaining elements of an array into a new array. Skipping elements can be achieved using commas. For example, when we are skipping elements, the variables will simply take the values of the array elements based on their position while skipping over the commas that don't have corresponding variable names, or when we have more variables than the array elements, the extra variables will be assigned undefined values and any rest parameter will return an empty array. Here are two examples, one for the rest parameter and another to show the skipping of elements. Object destructuring enables you to extract properties from objects into variables. The property names must match the object keys, but the order does not matter like in arrays. You can extract multiple properties at once, and properties not specified are simply ignored. Here is an example where we have a user object with name, age, and email properties. We can extract the name and age into separate variables and also extract just the email into a separate variable using object destructuring syntax. Here, we will explore advanced object destructuring techniques like renaming properties and computed properties. Renaming properties allows you to assign a new variable name to a property during destructuring. Computed property names allow you to use dynamic property names during destructuring. Look at the examples below. First example shows how you can rename into full name and it to user age, whereas the second example shows how you can use the string title from the variable prop to extract value of property name title from the data object. In this section, you will learn how to handle missing or undefined values using default values in destructuring. You can assign a default value to a variable if the corresponding value in the array or object is missing or undefined. For example, if the array only has 2 items but you are destructuring into 3 variables, the third variable will take the default value assigned. Similarly, in the object example, only the theme property exists in the object, so the font size and color variable will take on their default values. Nested destructuring allows you to extract data from complex structures like multi-dimensional arrays and nested objects. This simplifies accessing nested properties within these data structures. For example, in the nested array example, we are accessing individual elements within the nested arrays. Similarly, in the nested object example, we are extracting both the name and the nested city and zip properties. These examples highlight the convenience of nested destructuring for simplifying data access. Let's explore more complex nested destructuring, particularly in a real-world scenario of an API response. Consider this complex API response structure containing user data, profile details, contact information, and preferences. We can use deep nested destructuring to extract the name, email, phone, theme, and notifications properties from the API response. Notice how we can also provide a default value not applicable in case phone is null. This powerful technique showcases the practical application of nested destructuring in real-world applications. Here we will see 2 practical patterns using destructuring. The first is function parameters, where we can destructure the parameters passed to a function, which makes code more readable and less prone to errors. The second is module imports, where we can selectively import, rename or mix and match imports while importing modules from other files. These 2 examples show how destructuring can improve the structure and maintainability of the code. Now let's look at two more practical patterns. First one is React props pattern, where we destructure props passed to React components. This makes it easier to extract relevant information from the props. The second pattern is configuration pattern, where we extract configuration values from a config object. As you can see in the example, we can easily extract endpoint, version, and auth type properties from the config object. These patterns demonstrate how destructuring simplifies working with React components and configuration values. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.